Thank you, thank you. Yes, no pressure. And I'm already crying, man. I'm telling you, I cannot get through one of these without snotting on the mic, so I'm sorry. So, yes, I am Tiffany. I am married. My husband is actually here for the first time. So isn't that amazing? Big things, people. And I am a mom of 3. We have a 11-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 7-year-old. And we homeschool. It's fun. It's a lot. But it's what I have always wanted. When I was a kid, my biggest wish was to be a mom. That's all I wanted. And it's really amazing because I always got on Facebook Memories. Anybody use Facebook Memories? You get to see like all the posts from years before, all the posts when you talked in the third person, and that was really, really weird. But whatever, I digress. So it's really amazing to be able to see what my mom life has looked like, to be able to see the letter sounds we did with the kids, to see the play dates and the parks, and the cloth diapering, I don't know what that was, and the baby wearing, and all the things. That was mom life, and I loved it. Until, yeah, it's about time for me to cry. Till our 3rd pregnancy, when all of a sudden, the foundation of my mom life started to crumble. It started to have cracks, and something didn't feel right. It wasn't just that I was tired with 2 other kids running around. If you missed it before, they're all less than 2 years apart. I don't recommend that, but I love them. But I don't recommend that. And I knew it was more than that. It started to really reveal itself at our 20-week ultrasound. Do you guys know what 20-week ultrasounds is? What happens at the 20-week? Anyone? Ultrasounds, the 20-week ultrasounds, you are having a boy or a girl, right? And 3 little words rocked me. It's a girl. And then the next 3 words that I thought was, I'll destroy her. I was terrified of having a daughter, terrified of breaking her, terrified that I wasn't going to be able to do this. I'm crying at the ultrasound and trying so hard to make it look like the pretty, like, tears of joy. You guys know what I'm talking about? Like, just the pretty, misty tears of joy. When inside, it was gut-wrenching and fear and trauma and this knot, and I didn't know where it was coming from or what it was or how to place it. Until about 20 weeks later, when I have this little bitty daughter with this face that's precious. Follow me on social media, you will see her. She's adorable. Sassy at 7, but adorable. She had these big blue eyes. She still has eyes that are way too big for her face. And she had this dark hair that stuck straight up like a mohawk, which is what my hair did. And I was like, oh, you're mine. There you are. Like, there you are. And I loved her with every ounce of my being. And she didn't look so scary. She didn't look so intimidating. I didn't feel like I was going to break her. And I couldn't figure out why I still felt like something was wrong. Why something didn't make sense, why something still felt off. Until a few hours later, when I had this words of wisdom, this one sentence that unraveled all the mystery of what was cracked in my foundation. I was given the wise advice to not be surprised when I don't love Scarlett as much as I love my boys, because mothers never love their daughters as much as they love their sons. This was the sage advice that my mother knew I needed to know before anything else, being a girl mom, that I will never love her as much as I love my boys. This is what she believes in her own life. And it's so different hearing it. Like, this trauma and these unknown sentences can live underneath constantly. And you know it, you feel it. In our family, we make jokes about it because that's how we process. In my family, we're sarcastic and we make jokes. Me and Kim are super tight. But anyways, so we have this joke between me and my sister that just echoes this feeling, okay? Anytime anything happens, I can stub my toe on FaceTime with her. She can spill a cup of coffee. I can lose my purse or my keys, which happens a lot. But anytime we're on the phone and something happens, there's one statement that we say. Okay, you guys clutch your pearls because my dad is going to give me a side eye for saying this in public. It's because you have a vagina. Everything that has ever been wrong in our life, yes, I said it, it's because you have a vagina. Because you are a woman, because you are a girl, because you are not the son of her, you are less than, you are second class. Your emotions aren't worthy. Your time is not worthy. Your wants are not worthy. Because mothers never love their daughters as much as they love their sons. Now, you would think, like we said before, I've been here before, you would think that I would have had enough self-awareness to get into therapy then. Because, I mean, that's a statement. If any statement is going to put you in therapy, that is like top 5 statement. I didn't. It took me till this year to get into therapy. And even then, it wasn't for me. Praise God, but my dad was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer almost a year ago. And I got into therapy to help him, to be able to be okay to help him. What I didn't realize is that I was going to turn into the Freudian poster child. So every therapy session begins with my therapist asking, "What do you want to talk about today?" And me saying, "I don't want to say it, but my mom," and she's like, "I know." Every time. And what I've wanted to work on and what I've wanted to learn is how to be like her. Yes, I'm saying that in a public format. How to be like her. I know her story. I know what she's walked through with her mom, and it mirrors what I've walked through with my mom. But she can laugh when her mom says mean and hurtful things. She can keep going and not feel gutted when your mother forgets your birthday for multiple years in a row. For when your mother can't talk to you about something, but wants to know if your husband thinks it's okay. For when you notice your mother not making eye contact with your daughter anymore. How do you work through that and it not hurt? And then the East Coast ran out of gas, okay? You guys remember that? Like literally it was a month ago when there was no gas anywhere. People were filling up garbage bags. Did anyone see that? Like, come on now. And we were desperately looking for gas because our kids were going to go on a field trip to Charleston. Super excited about it. We're so excited about it. There was no gas. There was no gas. I ran out of gas looking for gas. I had exhausted all of my options, and so I finally did the one thing that I did not think I would ever do. You guys want to know what that was? I called my mom. Yes, I called my mom. Not because I thought she was going to fix it, not because I thought she was going to show up, but because I had to, as a mom, check every single box off of my list. I had to make sure that as a mom that I exhausted all of my options. So I called my mom, and I asked her if I can borrow her car to take to Charleston with my family. And she goes, "Let me call your stepdad." Okay, That's the answer to everything. Okay. 15 minutes later, she calls me and says, the gas station on Sutton Road has gas. What? What? She's like, the gas station on Sutton Road has gas. And I go, okay. She's like, yeah, I called like 5 or 6 gas stations, and everyone's out. I already said that. Everyone's out, but Sutton has gas. I'm like, okay. So I get in the car, and I'm on the phone with her, and I'm driving there, and I go, well, Mom, if I run out of gas, can you, like, at least bring me lawnmower gas? And she says, aren't your friends closer than I am? She lives 8 minutes away. So I fill up with gas, being long-winded, I'm sorry, guys. I fill up with gas, and I drive home, and I just start to laugh. Just start to laugh. Because my mother can't call and order a pizza. She can't call and make a doctor's appointment. She can't be bothered talking to people on the phone. She doesn't call me half the time. But she can call around to find me gas to not have to be there for me, to still maintain a half a step away. And in that moment, I realized, I was also reminded by my therapist later, that I laughed because I learned to manage my expectations. That your expectations have power over feeling rejected. Not my quote, but that your expectations have power over rejection. And with that, I realized my tears for wanting to make sure my kids got to their field trip was different than my mom. Because I had this overwhelming fear, and it went all the way back to when I found out my daughter was my daughter. I was terrified that I was going to be my mom. That was my biggest fear in life, is that I was going to turn out like my mom. That I was going to be a woman that didn't have time for her children. That I was going to be a mother that couldn't be bothered to do anything besides what she wanted and what was perfect for her in that moment. That I was going to be a mother that had grown children that were so broken and full of anxiety that some of us do not manage life well. Most of us don't manage life well. I was so terrified that I was going to be that, but that in that moment I realized I'm not. It was the first time that I have been able to say, I am not my mom. That because my mother's mother said mothers don't love their daughters as much as they love their sons. And her mother's mother said mothers don't love their daughters as much as they love their sons, does not mean that my daughter will ever feel like I don't love her as much as I love my boys. That my daughter gets to have freedom, gets to have joy, gets to feel seen, gets to feel heard, that she's not going to have to be a fearful, scared little girl her whole entire life. Because that's what reparenting is, right? You guys know the definition of reparenting. It's giving your inner child the chance to be parented with love and be parented with compassion and being parented in a way that brings hope and healing and restoration and all of that fun stuff. But it takes so much work. It also takes rolling your eyes at the term inner child. I'm sorry. That one is hard for me. But what I've learned is that I can't have an inner child for me. I have to have the inner child for my kids. And the only way that anything ever stops is if you break it. So now my daughter does cute little sassy things like deciding that she is allowed to watch American Idol with us because she's big and she's brave and she is strong and that is what she wants to do. So that is what's going to happen. Do you know how you parent that? Okay. Okay, whatever you say. Even last night, she got out of bed last night, and she walks into the room, and she goes, "Mommy, my heart hurts." And it's this thing that she does a lot. She'll say, "Mommy, my heart hurts." And so she climbs up on my lap and faces me and presses her heart against my heart so that I can take her heart's hurt. And she'll just sit there until her breath becomes my breath, until her body relaxes, and until she says, "Okay, my love tank's full now." And she jumps up and runs to bed. And I pull the ice cream from behind the couch that I had hid, because I am a good mom. Not everyone needs the good ice cream. And she scampers off. Sometimes she comes back out again just to check. I think she knows I have ice cream. Nothing gets by her. But it's amazing because in that moment, I can be so sad for little me who didn't get that. So sad for little me that didn't get to go to birthday parties because my mom was scared that she would have to parent without me, because I'm the oldest of 4, and that was my job. My job was mom because she couldn't mom. But now my daughter can declare what she wants, can climb on my lap, can feel safe to say her heart hurts. She can climb out of bed multiple times without me losing my temper sometimes, but she feels safe. She feels secure. She feels loved. She feels cherished. She feels all these things that I didn't get to feel, but that she can feel because I've fought for it. And this is not a woo woo, yay me, I've done so much work. But what I've learned is that pain it doesn't multiply. It has a quotient. It's pain to the second power. And the next generation, it's pain to the third power. So it takes so much work. But every time I feel like I don't have the words, that I don't have the work, that I don't have the power, I don't have the thoughts, I don't have anything left because I'm completely wrunged out. And every time after therapy, I just want to lay on the ground. I don't even care where I'm at. I just want to lay down and not think, not breathe, not that that's not an option, just lay out. And every time, I end up having a little boy come up to me and say, "Mommy, I really like to help people." And I get to tell him, "I love that you get to help people, but you know you're not loved just because you help, right?" And he goes, "Mommy, I know, you tell me that all the time." It's amazing to have your kids get annoyed with you because you speak truth and love over them over and over and over again. Not be told to stop talking, to go away, that I'm tired. Did you do the dishes? Did you clean the house? Is the vacuum done? Where are your brothers? To not be grounded when your sibling does something wrong. To be able to have that freedom to say, this is who I am, and this is why I am loved in who I am. And that only comes from being okay with being reparented. Thank you.